what a lovely surprise.
Hello, Lila.
Hey.
Yes.
Hi.
Mr. Donnelly, how are you?
Oh, Sean, may I offer you a drink?
No, thank you, Edward.
How is Tiff?
Oh, she's fine. Sends her love to you.
Yes, I really enjoyed our visit.
Hey, what about that baseball strike, huh? Really messed up the season, didn't it?
Actually, I'm a football fan, Alan. Edward,
Why don't you have a seat?
I'd prefer to have a word alone with you.
Oh, hey, you know, don't look at me. I came in at halftime.
If you'll all excuse us.
Yes, well.
Oh, that's just great, Ned. Now you've done it.
I didn't do anything.
Come on.
I
didn't. How did Sean hear about this?
Children, don't panic. Alan, you said that Steve Hardy wouldn't file a report until morning.
That's what he told me.
Well, then who called the police?
Well, I bet it wasn't the murderer, folks.
Attempted murderer.
Okay, Alan, you have made your point on
You know,
that
shouldn't
one.
we keep this at a low roar? You know, somebody
Sweetheart,
might...
stay out of this. I'll handle it. Everybody keep your voices down.
Should I be calling my attorney?
Only if you have something to hide.
Oh, of course I don't.
Yeah, I spoke with Judge Quinlan this evening.
What on earth about?
Bradley Ward.
Oh, Ward. Oh, is that why you're here?
Yeah, why else?
Well, why else, indeed? How is Quinlan?
Oh, cooperative. He offered to give me a statement saying that you brought pressure to bear by asking him to influence the Bradley Ward investigation.
Oh, now that's only partly true. I never asked him to influence the outcome. Merely to assess the facts of the case and call it off if the facts warrant it.
Well, that's rather nitpicking, Edward.
Not at all. And I never expected the result to be the cover-up of a murder.
Need I remind you the bullet that killed the man came from your gun?
And I am at a total loss about that. I do not understand how a gun that I own came to be involved. All I knew is that Bradley had disappeared to cover up a scandal, or had killed himself for the same reason.
But there was no body.
People drive off cliffs. They throw themselves into water. I just figured it was a matter of time before he would wash up somewhere or turn up in another country under an assumed name. Murder was never a consideration.
Then why didn't you let the investigation run its course?
Because as long as the books were still open, his constituents would have kept his banner flying. Especially when it comes to the opposition to the airport project. And the result would have been a horrible scandal for the wards and a disaster for the community at large. And you know damn well, Sean, that airport has been a boon to the Port Charles economy.
That was never the issue, Edward. But it does make me wonder what means people would go to justify those ends. What made you think that Quinlan could help?
Because his daughter was involved with Bradley.
Oh, I see. So you figured that if you threatened to expose his daughter's, affair, that Quinlan would do exactly as you asked. You know, Edward, where I come from, that is called blackmail.
I never threatened. I simply motivated him by pointing out the fact that any further exposure would be of no benefit to anyone, certainly not the Quinlans or the wards or the airport. And the good judge did his own investigating, and he came to the conclusion that the evidence supported the suicide or the disappearance theory. And he agreed, for the good of all concerned, that any further investigation was meaningless.
Oh, that is so benevolent of you to be so protective of Ward's reputation. But, you know, I tend to believe that you were protecting your own self-interests and not somebody's reputation.
You believe what you will. Those are the facts. You can check them out with Jack Boland or Lee Baldwin if you want to.
I certainly will. Yeah, by the way, Edward, maybe you should call Baldwin. He is your lawyer, right?
Yes. Well, why?
Because I'll need an official statement from you. And soon. Good night.
Well, I'm gonna tell you all something. I, for one, resent that grandfather assumes any of us killed Katherine.
I can't really blame him. All of us wanted her out of our lives.
Yeah, but not like this. I'm afraid I don't have an alibi.
Oh, they couldn't have met you, Jason.
Wow, there's your alibi, Jason. Innocence by virtue.
Shut up, AJ.
Okay, that is enough, both of you.
Methinks AJ doth protest too much.
Let me tell you something, Ned. If I had tried to kill Katherine, I wouldn't have botched it. There wouldn't have been anything attempted about it.
Is that a dig at your father?
Well, if the shoe fits.
Ned, let us discuss who had the strongest motive.
No, let us discuss Victor Jerome instead. I know.
He was already dead. I just tried to hide his body.
Who is Victor Jerome?
Not to worry, dear. Alan didn't murder him.
What must Thanksgiving dinner be like in this house?
Oh, it's a riot. Everyone argues over who gets to carve up the turkey.
I tried to warn you, sweetheart.
Well, at least I have an excuse. I'm too busy throwing up with chemo to worry about anybody's demise but my own.
Oh,
Is he gone?
For the moment,
how on earth did Sean find out about this already?
he didn't. He was here investigating the Bradley Ward murders.
Oh, great. Who is Bradley Ward, and what did you do to him, Alan?
That one we're clean on, sweetheart.
Would you stop calling me that?
All right. Can we get back to the business at hand? Whoever tried to kill Katherine, it's time to step forward.
Come on, ridiculous, grandfather.
Stop it. Get anywhere with
Really?
that.
Well, there's one county that hasn't been heard from yet.
Excuse me?
Oh, grandfather, don't you dare. It really makes very good sense, and we don't even know her after all. And if there was ever anyone with a motive for a crime of passion, it has to be Lois. It's okay, dear. You can trust us.
Yeah. I don't think so. You know, Mr. Q, I was taught to respect my elders, but, you know, I gotta tell you, you're a nutcase. You are all certifiable. Oh, no.
It all has to come out eventually. Now, you tell us the truth now, and we'll stand behind you later on.
I'm blowing this popsicle stand.
Lois. Thank you. What the hell were you thinking of?
What nobody else around here is considering, this family. And if it steps on your love life, Ned, that's just too bad. But we've got a murder on our hands.
Attempted murder!
You call it what you will. The fact remains that if we don't discover the culprit, you can be damn sure that the police will.